हो गया शो का इंटीग्रेशन? चलिए शुरू करते हैं. Hey guys, it's me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to this wonderful show. Well, I've been requested in my dreams by the mother of dragons to make a cake for her. But the word that actually woke me up from my sleep is the word Dracarys. Most of you have guessed it right. What I'm going to make is a Oreo mug cake. What will happen with this? Daenerys will stop haunting me in my dreams. So let's begin with Oreo mug cake. A mug cake for the uninitiated is a cake baked inside a mug. Well, as simple as it can get. So that's the mug that ideally could be used for mixing as well as for baking. Now generally 99% of the time this recipe is always made using a microwave oven. Always remember that. Well, you can also bake this. Of course the timing increases and things like that, but then of course I'll keep explaining as I go. It's as simple as mixing every ingredient mentioned in the right proportions directly inside the mug. You don't need a whisk, you don't need a beater, you don't need anything. You just take a spoon, mix it all together, and that's about it. Let's begin with the first ingredient, which is white chocolate. Now, because I'm using white chocolate in this recipe, it's primarily important for us to realize what includes in this. Now, this has milk, this has sugar, and this has cocoa. Now, when I say cocoa, it has cocoa butter. So now if you think about it, cocoa butter, if you kind of equate it with fat, butter is taken care of. Sugar is not in the recipe, so sugar is already here. Milk is there in it, but of course, we're going to add a little milk later. So primarily, this is 3 ingredients in one. You can actually make it 4 because this also has vanilla essence. So let's add this inside the mug. Now this straight goes in the microwave oven, and this needs to cook for 40 seconds only. Well, 40 seconds and the white chocolate is perfectly melted. To this melted chocolate, let's start adding in the rest of the ingredients, beginning with milk. Now, the moment you add in milk, this is actually going to become like hot chocolate, but in this case, white hot chocolate. Let's stir this. And to this, we're going to add in half a teaspoon of oil. Now this is vegetable oil. Do not add in butter at this stage because butter will end up drying the cake and you're not looking at making a dry cake. Once all of this is mixed well, I'm going to add in a tad bit pinch of salt, and this is primarily to balance all the sweetness. Now if you think about it, where's the sweetness? The sweetness in this recipe is in the white chocolate as well as in the Oreo, which is going to get added at a later stage. So remember that, just a pinch of salt to balance the flavors. Mix this well, and to this I'm going to add in refined flour. One quick mix. Do not over mix this because this may all just go and settle at the bottom. At this stage, while we are mixing, I'm also going to add in pieces of Oreo biscuit. Now, you can either crush it completely or just hand chop it, hand crush it, hand break it. That's a completely personal choice. I'm just keeping a little aside to put right at the top. Mix this well. With this, your cake batter is done and ready. Absolutely nice and lump-free. The next step is to take some nice festive mugs. Now, you can ideally also bake it in the same mug, but this is a little bit of a larger portion. In case you have a larger family, in my case, that's what happens. What I do is I take these little smaller cups and I kind of add some more chocolate and some more Oreo to it, because when that gets microwaved, this in a way becomes like a self-saucing recipe. Now, self-saucing recipe are recipes which basically do not need an additional custard or an additional sauce or an additional ice cream. What happens is the chocolate will start melting because it's microwaved, and that becomes the sauce. Isn't that beautiful? So what I'm going to do is add some more chocolate at the base, a little more of the chocolate if you want it nice and saucy. The next I'm going to add in some bits of Oreo, and this is, like I said, again, absolutely personal. Let's add this in. And the next is the batter. Finally, a little more of the white chocolate and Oreo, not just because it'll taste nice, but also because it'll kind of look better. Remember, there's a lot of white chocolate and Oreo at the bottom as well as in the cake. A little few pieces of Oreo here and there. And your cake batter is ready to go in the microwave. Now this gets cooked for 1 minute in the microwave. While the mug cakes are in the microwave, let's move to our next segment, Knowledge is Power. This Oreo mug cake immediately reminds me of the Guinness World Record for the world's largest chocolate mud pie, weighing 3,000 pounds, held by me. If you think of the basic mathematics, 3,000 pounds, it's not a joke. Because to make this, or to rather bake this, we needed a mold which was at least 8 feet in diameter. That in turn went in an oven which was 12 feet long. Now, if you imagine all of this, it's quite nightmarish because all of this had to be assembled in different states. It all came to one place, and that's where we knocked the record. Now, this may sound very easy, but trust me, the execution has been nightmarish with hundreds of people involved in something like this. Absolutely mammoth of a task. But what's important here is it's all possible because of perseverance, passion, and patience. What's important in all of this is that the record is not held by me, it's held by India. On that note, let's head to the kitchen. With this, a perfectly moist, soft, and self-saucing mug cakes, Oreo and white chocolate mug cakes are done and ready. Try and make it for your family because anybody can cook with Rajshri food. Do like the video if you've liked it and keep watching Rajshri food. Bye for now.